Hey folks, welcome to the final Doctor Who review of the series. I'm joined by my usual guests.
Kuchiri.
You actually introduced yourself this time and caught me completely off guard.
Fuck?
What?
Holy
Mirrors.
shit!
Well,
Cat,
that's
are you-
interesting.
Cat, are you reflecting me right now?
Kuchiri, Cat FreezingInferno are here to discuss Hellbent.
Mirrors.
Okay, we got it. You said it now like 5 times.
Oh god, she's infinitely reflecting her own opinion on mirrors. Oh no!
This was a bad idea on my part, getting you three together for this, wasn't it? I
No.
can just tell you were going to drive me to insanity by the end of this.
You're
I
going
am.
to say it at least once.
Is that a challenge?
Yes.
Oh boy.
It's not a
Anyway,
challenge.
yeah, series
Inevitability.
finale, Hellbent, an hour and actually an hour. It was an hour and 5 minute slot, but actually it was just over an hour. Quite the episode, I think you'll agree.
Oh yeah.
So let me begin with the usual synopsis, and then we can jump straight into the character bits and anything else we want to talk about. So synopsis then. So we start with a recap of the events of Face the Raven and Heaven Sent, and then we open in Nevada, where the Doctor walks into a diner and starts talking to a waitress who looks identical to Clara. He begins to tell her the story of what happened when he returned to Gallifrey. Back on Gallifrey, he returns to the barn from Day of the Doctor and Listen. The High Council of Gallifrey, plus for some reason O'Hyla and the Sisterhood of Khan, who have shown up, are made aware of his presence. They send a battle cruiser to escort him to the Citadel. He refuses to go. They send the military. He refuses to talk. They send the High Council themselves. He refuses to talk. Finally, the President himself goes to talk to the Doctor, only to be greeted by the words, "Get off my planet." The President orders his troops to shoot the Doctor. They intentionally miss, siding with the Doctor instead. The Doctor receives the title of President, exiling both Rassilon, the previous President, and the High Council from Gallifrey. The General asks the Doctor for help regarding the coming of the hybrid. He says he needs to talk to Clara Oswald. The Time Lords use an extraction chamber to retrieve Clara from her timeline just before her death, leaving her biological processes suspended in a time loop. She's alive, but has no pulse and cannot age. The Doctor then disarms the General. When he attempts to block their escape from the chamber, the Doctor shoots him and asks for a neural block before taking Clara and escaping to the Cloisters, a place on Gallifrey which houses the Matrix, a computer system designed to house the minds of deceased Time Lords. The General regenerates into a new female body and pursues the Doctor into the Cloisters along with O'Hyla. The Doctor tells Clara that only one Time Lord in history has managed to find a way out of the Cloister, and the Cloister wraiths, telling them about the prophecy of the hybrid, drove them mad and caused them to escape from Gallifrey. Clara soon recognises he's talking about himself. The General and O'Hyla catch up with the Doctor and urge Clara to come with them so they can restore her to her original timeline. Clara instead distracts them long enough for the Doctor to steal a fresh TARDIS, which materialises itself around Clara and takes off. The Doctor's plan is to take Clara far away enough from Gallifrey to break free of the time loop, even though this could potentially end time itself, fracture time itself. When this doesn't work, Clara's pulse doesn't return to her, the Doctor resorts to travelling to the very end of the universe, minutes before it collapses. He leaves Clara in the TARDIS and asks to knock on the door, where he finds a shielder, aka me, waiting for him. The Doctor and me exchange theories about the identity of the hybrid. The Doctor accuses me of being the hybrid, she accuses him of the same, but then offers a better theory. The hybrid is a combination of the Doctor and Clara, each of them being alike, pushing each other to increasingly more dangerous extremes. The Doctor tells me of his plan to use the neural blocker on Clara, so she completely forgets about him and the Time Lords will be unable to find her on Earth. Unknown to both me and the Doctor, Clara has been listening to their conversation inside the TARDIS. When the Doctor returns to the TARDIS with me in tow and tells Clara what she's going to do, she replies that she's reversed the polarity of the blocker and it'll backfire on the Doctor. The Doctor realises that in trying to save Clara, he has gone too far and became the hybrid in the process, so one of them has to go. The Doctor and Clara activate the blocker together, not knowing which of them will lose their memory, in a kind of Russian roulette scenario. It transpires that the Doctor is the one affected. He says his goodbyes to Clara before passing out. He then wakes up in the Nevada desert with no memory of how he got there. Back in Nevada, the Doctor finishes telling his story to the waitress, who encourages him to keep going. It is revealed the diner is the TARDIS that the Doctor stole earlier, and the waitress was in fact Clara the entire time. The diner TARDIS dematerializes with Clara and me on board, leaving the Doctor's TARDIS behind. Me states to Clara that she was unable to get the communion circuit to work, so the shell is stuck as an American diner. Clara tells me that she intends to travel back to Gallifrey so she can die and restore the timeline. But since she is no longer aging, she decides to go the long way around and sets off with a shield to travel the universe. The Doctor steps inside his TARDIS, where Clara has left him a new jacket and a message for him on the blackboard. Run, you clever boy, and be a doctor. The TARDIS console produces a new sonic screwdriver. The Doctor catches it, shuts the door with a snap of his fingers, and departs to find fresh adventures, his TARDIS briefly passed in space by Clara's.
You
Yeah.
forgot that the diner is the same one from where the Doctor died.
We could
from
get into that later if you wanted to, but yes, I believe it is the same diner as the one
It's the same set. They use the same set from it's in Cardiff.
Yes,
It's essentially a copy of the diner.
It's Ed's Easy Diner, I believe, in Cardiff. It's a real place.
Yeah.
And, yeah, as you say, I think the implication at least, or you could certainly imply this yourself, is that diner TARDIS was there for Series 6, for the Impossible Astronaut.
I highly doubt that, seeing as there were employees in the restaurant then. So this is more than likely a copy.
True, but back in Series 6, they didn't know this was going to happen.
They might have. Because Lost, whenever they pitched Lost to ABC, they already knew how the story was going to begin and end. Matthew Fox, always said, yeah, I know how the series is going to end, because for ease of filming, they actually filmed the final shot before they filmed the first shot of this series.
Okay.
And
That was, like several years ago, though.
yeah, I know, but this is like different. Like it could happen. Plans could be made out. Like, so Lost, they had that idea 6 years in the future before they got to the series finale. So I mean, Moffat could have had this in mind. That, or not just this, it could have been some sort of idea, with the diner coming back and being a TARDIS.
I think it's highly unlikely, but it
I seriously think it was just a copy.
could also be that.
Because even the Doctor says that it was supposed to be like on the next hill over.
That's why I thought it was the same TARDIS.
And then the TARDIS just disappears. So like I really don't think it's the
That's
exact
two
same
different
diner. It's a
states,
copy.
though. But yeah,
I think it's left ambiguous enough that you can make up your own mind. I mean, to me, it doesn't change anything if that is, in fact, her TARDIS.
yeah.
It just means that she stopped off in Utah, and the Doctor just happened to be there.
Nevada.
No, in the Impossible Astronaut, it's Utah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
There's a song on the soundtrack, I Am the Doctor in Utah.
Yeah, it's they add a little bit of acoustic guitar to that one.
That's why I think it is the same diner, because he says we were here once before with Amy and Rory. But
Yeah,
that's just what he said.
and River. Don't forget River.
He forgot River. But yes, anyway, shall we get to talking about the characters? Beginning, of course, with the star of the show, as always, the Doctor.
Well,
Anything you want to know about the Doctor?
what can we say that haven't been said this whole series? I mean,
Well, I can say something that hasn't been said all series. The first 10 minutes after the opening credits, he doesn't say a word. He doesn't say a single solitary word for that 10 minutes after the opening credits.
What is he supposed to say? He's lost in the desert.
True, but I liked it because it really gives you a sense of his anger and how betrayed he feels.
I did like put down any and all weapons and approach us. Next shot, spoon
Yeah, he
drops.
dropped the spoon.
Well, I mean, he did defend himself with nothing but a spoon against Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's the reference I think they were going for there.
This is my spoon.
You love that, don't you, Kuchiri?
Oh, it's a great line, and he keeps on pulling out a spoon every now and then to reiterate this whole "this is my spoon."
Well, not just that, but the episode in general. You really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
funny
sure,
because
it's
a
fun.
spoon is actually a worse weapon than a knife would be.
It might not be a reference, but we might be taking it as one. But I interpret it as a reference.
No,
Yeah.
the Doctor Who Twitter, whenever they were live tweeting the episode, basically said it was a reference.
Okay, fair enough. Because Moffat does pack his stories with little throwbacks and nods to the past.
Oh, I mean, this one is positively full of them.
Oh
This
my
I'll
god, is
probably.
it ever?
Oh God. Yeah, but the spoon thing. Yeah. So
But yeah, again, Peter Capaldi just shows his acting chops because in those 10 minutes, doesn't say a word. You know exactly what he's thinking, though.
it's troublesome to talk about the Doctor because with all this hybrid bullshit, the Doctor and Clara are tied together to such a degree that you can't really talk about one without the other.
We are, but we can't. But I've got a few things that mention specifically the Doctor.
Uh huh.
Also, just going back to that scene where he's not talking for 10 minutes, that woman, I know she was a minor character. I just love the way she keeps coming into the bar.
I love it. It's like.
It's like, there's another person here, but she doesn't actually say that.
She got increasingly more distressed as they got higher and higher in the hierarchy.
Yeah, you've got the military, then the council, and then the president himself. Love it. I thought that was great. Yeah, it was good to see some of the old Time Lord Victorious back, if only for a brief moment. The
Plus,
part
it's
where
nice
he's
to see that they recognize him for what he did.
yeah, the part where he that is quite frankly terrifying is when he says, "We are beyond the universe now. I'm answerable to no one as of this moment."
That was. Whew.
Yeah. There's a lot of emotions in this episode, both displayed by the actors and triggered for the audience. It was an emotional tour de force.
Oh well. And that's the kind of Doctor Who I love the best.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
I mean, put it this way, he's pushed to the absolute limit here. Absolute limit. He's been stuck in the confession tower for 4.5 billion years, not 2 billion years,
Right.
as we assumed.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's like,
He
I don't know
always
if that's
said-
a
always
serious
said in the
retcon
montage.
or not.
Well, all he said in at the montage in Heaven Sent was that if I didn't know any better, I'd say I've traveled over 2 billion years in the future.
So it turns out, no, he didn't know any better because he was wrong.
Yep.
Or they didn't show the bit where he said 4.5 billion years into the future.
He was wrong
Christ.
by, a couple of billion years there.
Wait. You know what this means, right?
Oh no.
All the goddamn math calculations from last week are wrong now.
Yeah, yeah, because it was 14 billion.
No, it's still. Well, no. They were saying that the math calculations were right, but 2 billions was not fast enough, and 4 billions same way.
Kuchiri, it's canon now. Get over it.
Oh,
And let's also remember, this is a TV show that stars a guy with two hearts who runs around and gets into shenanigans with people in time. I don't think math really applies here.
No, it absolutely does not.
Especially since he's an alien and we can't apply human characteristics to him that
One
easily.
thing I just want to add about the Doctor is I love how the title of the episode ties in with both him and the location of it. Because obviously he is hell-bent, as Kuchiri joked a couple of times back in Face the Ravens review. But also they go to hell.
well, which is funny. That's tying in again to Darkwater. Go to hell.
Yeah, and tying in with Heaven Sent.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hence-
because he says in this episode that the confession dials are a way for Time Lords to go in and, release all of their, secrets, their,
Make
what's
peace
the
with
word I'm looking
themselves.
for? Yeah,
Make
make
peace with themselves.
themselves. That could be like their own version of heaven to them. So it makes sense.
But they twist it on a living brain, and therefore it's a version of hell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, did they twist it?
Oh, and it really was. One more thing that I think we can mention that's solely about the Doctor. The sonic screwdriver.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yay! Okay.
All right. Yeah.
It looks like a magic wand.
It looks like a vibrator.
It looks like a magic wand. It has a stick.
The
it
Doctor
has a
has his
stick with a
magic
crystal
dildo
on
back.
it.
I like the design.
It's a stick
It's
with
like-
a magic crystal on the end. It's a magic wand.
It looks like they're going back to the good old days, but then I think they're actually basing the tip off of chalk. Like a chalk and chalk
It's
holder.
a stick with a crystal on it. It's a magic wand. They're not even hiding it anymore.
It's a vibrator, and you know it.
I will
No,
say I could.
I'm thinking
No, trust me.
it's
There's no
meant to be
vibrators. that
it's
look
meant
like
to be chalk with a chalk holder because of his obsession with
that. It's a
chalk
crystal.
holders.
It's literally like a blue glowing crystal.
Yeah.
I have a little anecdote about the Sonic. Because I was out shopping last week, right, and I saw a Blu-ray set with all the Christmas specials. Plus, it came with the 12th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. But it's just 11s, the same one we've been using for 5 years. I really wish they waited a week to release that box set so they could have this Sonic screwdriver in there.
Yeah, that's bad timing.
Yeah,
That's
all.
really bad timing on their part.
Well, no, what's even worse was I was looking around and I found the promotional images for the episodes we can't talk about yet. And one of the
Nice.
promotional images, which it came out like 2 weeks ago, actually shows Capaldi holding the screwdriver.
Well, it's a minor little niggle, isn't it?
Yeah, he's right. Because people are
It's
going,
not-
oh,
it's-
hang on a
it's-
minute. He's got a
It's
screwdriver?
not like coming this Saturday on BBC One. Clara Oswald says, "Let me be brave. Goodbye, Doctor."
Don't get me started on that again.
Well, I will ask this: Did any of the BBC trailers for Hellbent really blow any major spoily stuff?
Not really. They showed the Dalek.
Oh well.
They showed the General getting punched. I'm talking about scenes that specifically were not in the Next Time trailer.
Yeah.
But they showed the General getting punched. They showed a couple of very vague shots of Clara, but it could have been in his head again, like in Heaven Sent, so that wasn't a spoiler. I think they were pretty good, actually. I thought they were big spoilers. They were not.
Well, I will have one thing to say about promotional stuff and Clara when we get to Clara.
Yeah, which is not going to be too far away. One more thing about the Sonic. It looks like the sunglasses are now gone, so Kuchiri is very happy about that.
Okay.
But no, I want. This has been one of Moffat's biggest trolls. He knew that if he did the sunglass thing, people were going to have an outrage, and he knew at the end of the season, this was all done to hype up the new screwdriver. This was all done. This was all an elaborate plan by Moffat to hype up a new screwdriver.
You
Oh,
are
baloney.
You
Maybe
are
the sunglasses were a good idea and you're just a shithead.
hook, line, and sinker.
Hang on a minute. Let Presto talk. This is funny.
You are
Even my family!
Even my immediate family bought it.
Oh my god, yes, I've used that picture for the Sonic.
Yes. Oh my god.
I was going to use it flying through the air, and he kept catching it, but that's even better.
I will say this.
I do like that design though.
I will say this about the Sonic sunglasses and screwdriver. I didn't mind the Sonic sunglasses, and the outrage against them was really. I'm no offense, Kuchiri. The outrage against him was really just kind of silly. It's just like they're changing a thing about Doctor Who. I don't like it.
That's not that. They look stupid, boring, and cheap.
I get. Well, it was a fun little way. Moffat he's basically a I don't want to say a troll, a devilish imp. Does that work?
I think you can absolutely call him a troll.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
And one thing I want to mention about the scene where he does catch the Sonic, all that was done in post because he's just basically reacting to nothing. He said this in an interview. They hadn't actually designed the Sonic when they filmed this episode.
Oh my gosh.
They just had a note in the script like, new Sonic screwdriver. So he's just picking up a green object.
Stick.
They just
Great
toss him
stick.
I'm telling you, it's a magic wand. We just went to Diagon Alley, and now he's got his magic wand, and eventually he's going to become Harry Potter, and Rassilon is going to be Voldemort.
Oh, God.
Oh Jesus.
So you know that wrestling is probably going to show up sometime
Oh yeah,
next
he's
year.
probably going to be the next villain that goes wah ha 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 and shows up creepily during
Oh.
So last week we had our first inspiration for fan art. This week we got our first inspiration for fan fiction.
Oh God, alive. What else can we talk about?
Let's move on. Let's move on very quickly to Clara.
Oh God. Well, it's not going to be quick at all because I'm probably gonna gush like crazy.
So much to talk about with Clara. My God.
Okay,
Clara
say...
who?
Yeah.
I even got more to say about that, but I will open the floor to all y'all before I get going. But
Please do open the floor.
I will just say one thing: is that thanks to podcasts that I was listening to as the series was going on, I knew that there was a promotional image released of Clara in her waitress costume. So that's something I knew was coming already. But the theory was that it was just another one of her splinters. So,
I think all her splinters are gone now.
well, that was the theory. We didn't know that. We didn't know it was.
And technically, they're not gone because the one from the Dalek Asylum is technically in the future. So.
Yeah, well,
we don't know about Clara's echoes
per se.
Anyway, the echoes. Well, that was the theory, and it was wrong. But it's interesting that we get two other ways this could go. Like, once the neural block comes up, you figure, oh shit, they're pulling a Donna on her, and he's telling the story to Clara, who doesn't remember she's Clara. But then they flip that around, and it's great. That's great. Anyway, what do y'all think of Clara? Before I gush more.
Yeah, just to elaborate. Sorry, Kuchiri, go on.
This episode does make Face the Raven, though, kind of null and void.
No,
Nope.
it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
In my opinion, it does. And
I kind of thought that on airing, but once it was over, I was satisfied with this, and it's still Face the Raven. I think still works. I don't know. I will
say during the episode, I got very angry. I thought, oh god, they're going to make it so that she survives this. What the hell? They can't do that. But the way they explained it at the ending, I think, not only is perfect for Clara herself, where she agrees that she has to go back, but she has the time now. But she has the time now to go out and have adventures still.
But what we're talking about with time is she could be doing this for another 3,000 years before she goes back.
She could do it indefinitely.
Yeah.
She could do it
not
for up until the universe starts to break apart, pretty much.
Yeah. But it's not going to. It would have broken apart if the Doctor succeeded in restoring her pulse and her life. Then it would have broken apart. But with her still being frozen in the last heartbeat of her life, it doesn't destroy the universe. So she absolutely has to die, but
that she could live out another universe of life, fucking lifetime.
She's technically immortal now, really.
Yeah, no, she's like me.
And for all those who might be saying it right now, it does not invalidate her last words of "Let me be brave," because she still has to be brave enough to stop her adventures and go back to her proper timeline and die.
Yeah.
Again, this could be 20 to 50 million years from now.
And all I want now is some Clara Who audiobooks or a miniseries.
Oh,
I want to see her adventures.
Don't you worry, Kat. Big Finish will absolutely get on that if they can hire Jenna Coleman. I guarantee they're going to do it.
Yeah, but with this though, it just Face the Raven is just a regular episode now. I mean,
disagree.
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, I haven't watched Face the Raven since Hellbent, so we'll see how it holds up on a rewatch. But the death scene is still poignant, even if they Chrono Trigger her out of it.
I'm sorry, but I have to completely disagree that Face the Raven is now null and void or is lessened. I don't think it is. I mean,
I felt that at the time, like between when.
I think it's enhanced now because here you have in the original Face the Raven before this episode, you have this Clara who's, she's done her adventures. She realized she has to die, and she's perfectly willing and accepts death. But now with this episode, you don't have just a Clara. You have a Clara who went out. She did her own thing. She helped more people. She had more adventures. Her life is now 10 times more than it was before.
I will say.
So you have a richer, almost better Clara coming in to seal her fate and do what needs to be done.
Yeah, I can say one thing about this, and it's Clara being like the Doctor yet again. Okay, she died. The Doctor dies a lot too, and then he gets back up and he keeps on having adventures because that's more interesting than him dying. It's the same thing with Clara. She died. It was sad and it was beautiful. And then Hellbent comes along. And she gets to have more adventures because that's a more interesting story for Clara Oswald.
And it's even more with her as the Doctor, because this is kind of thing the Doctor would do. He would go out, have adventures, but he would still realize that eventually he has to go back and he has to set things right.
Yeah, what I love about Clara in this episode, well, aside from the hybrid talk, which I'll do separately, is the way Clara, even though she gets saved and all, she still gets to keep her agency. Like with the neural block thing, where the Doctor's intending on pulling a Donna on her. She's adamantly against it. It's not like he pulled it on her and was like, "Oh, gonna do it now, bye bye." It's just like she's like, "No, the past is mine. Don't you dare."
I love that. What was it she says? Tomorrow is
tomorrow's promised to no one, but the past is mine.
Yeah.
She doesn't blindly trust him. She understands that this is what he does. He tricks people. He does things on the sly, and she notices he says specifically for humans. So she notices the little bits like he would. You know, she goes in. She tries to figure out what's going on, just like he would.
And she's smart enough to eavesdrop on him when he's outside talking too.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. The first time I watched this episode and I got to the last 20 minutes, I was partly confused and partly unsatisfied.
I don't know.
I was kind of caught up in the moment. Watched it again, absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, and also I think they've actually given the best possible send-off that they could possibly have given Clara here.
Caitlin Smith, the number 3 Clara fan in the world, slightly behind Stephen Moffat and Jenna Coleman, she called it pretty much. Like, the only way for Clara's story to properly end is for her to steal the TARDIS and run away.
And she did.
And she did. So can we talk hybrid talk?
I'm still on Clara, by the way.
Okay,
is
hybrid a separate thing? Or?
The best possible send-off they could have given her, because you think about it, firstly, this pleases both camps. It pleases the camp that wanted Clara to stay dead, either because they didn't like the character, or because they felt it was a better ending for her.
Well,
but you also please the people. You also please the people that wanted her to live.
Yeah, well,
technically, she's both.
I mean, I was gonna accept her death in Face the Raven. It was a good send off. I thought I would have accepted that.
And what's the number one rule of companion departures in Doctor Who? You've got to make it relevant to the character. You've got to make it fit the character. Yeah. Now, for Clara, this is difficult because she's a very multifaceted character.
Mm-hmm.
She's been the impossible girl. She's been a control freak. She's a teacher. She's a pseudo doctor. This ending somehow manages to fit.
Pseudo.
All right.
I think you mean a different term.
She's like the Doctor. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
You're getting warmer.
I'm not saying it.
No, Steve, we got to do it when he's not aware.
Yeah.
She's a mirror of the Doctor.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for saying it for me.
She's a shiny, reflective surface of the Doctor.
I hate you all right now. So.
You love us.
The point is, all those facets to her character somehow are accommodated in this ending. And I think that's brilliant writing on Stephen Moffat's part.
So, can we talk hybrid for just a second?
Now we can talk hybrid, yeah.
Oh my god, okay. So, there's been a thorough line I've been talking about over Series 9 here writing, where the big surprise of Magician's Apprentice and Witch's Familiar was that there wasn't some mysterious figure who popped up and said, "Ah, yes, soon the Doctor will be destroyed." And we didn't have to play the guessing game that we've so often played with the Moffat era. No, we didn't get that. We got a bit of weird, vague stuff from Davros about the hybrid. Then, in the middle of the series, we got a Shielder and me, those 2 episodes where the hybrid thing was conceptualized further, and then the 3-part finale where we find out the universe-ending threat is the fact that the Doctor and Clara are codependent dark mirrors of each other. Oh my good God, all that mirror talk I've been bullshitting has become plot relevant!
We think that they're the hybrid.
I said to Frez that if it wasn't for the fact that the episodes were filmed way in advance, I would swear Moffat was watching our show.
Oh my
I would
God.
love to think that, but I doubt
So,
it.
so did anyone see the 3 mirrors in the scene where he was putting on his suit before the president?
Yes, I
sure
saw the
did.
mirrors. I saw the
He
mirrors.
said it! He said mirrors!
I was repeating him, so it doesn't count.
He
No,
said
it doesn't.
He said the word.
He's right. It doesn't count. It doesn't
Oh,
count.
But I have
shit.
said it, so now you can stop going on about me. 1-0 to me. Right, carry on with the review.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll get you one day.
since we're
Frank.
talking about the hybrid, all 3 of the explanations for the hybrid that are offered by the Doctor and by me, they make sense. What do we know about the hybrid? What's the prophecy about the hybrid? The hybrid will stand in the ruins of Gallifrey and destroy a billion hearts to heal its own.
Which
Who is sitting in the ruins of Gallifrey at the end of the story? A shielder.
And me and Clara are in the ruins of Gallifrey.
The Doctor has a special affinity for Earth, so that could lend credence to him being the hybrid, like a shielder first says.
Okay. I just want to say one thing about that. The whole half-human on my mother's side thing from the Palmagan TV movie is like anti-canon. Doctor Who nerds everywhere will debate against that shit. Like, there's even lines in the audio that one of the audios, I can't remember which one, but Palmagan's basically just like, I once made one of my adversaries think I was half-human. Stephen Moffat is a giant Doctor Who nerd, and he might troll you by making you think that, but there's no way in hell he would actually commit to that. He really wouldn't.
It's really funny you mentioned that, because in the pre-broadcast material in Doctor Who magazine, there were details released for the last 4 episodes of the series. I didn't read them until the episodes actually aired, because they are pretty big spoilers.
Right.
That's where the picture of Clara as a waitress turns up.
Okay, there you go.
With no context, but she's just there as a waitress.
Okay.
And the headline was something like closing last orders for Clara or something witty like that. And by witty, I mean a word that rhymes with it. But the point is, Moffat said that they thought, Doctor Who Monthly thought that Moffat might have changed something in the show's mythology. And he was very nervous about it.
Oh my God.
And people interpret that to mean, oh God, they're going to bring up the half-human on my mother's sideline from the movie.
Oh,
And he's the hybrid because of that. Actually, you're completely wrong. It was the stuff about the Matrix.
Oh.
It was stuff about dead Time Lord minds being uploaded to the Matrix
Oh.
that he was nervous about.
The goddamn Matrix.
So do they have to take a red pill or a blue pill for this one?
Oh.
Not that
Both.
Matrix.
They have to take both.
The Doctor Who Matrix came first, but the Doctor Who Matrix has also been inconsistent, even like the 3 or 4 times it showed up in Classic Who. So
It just amused me.
Moffat's not really changing stuff so much as he's carrying on the tradition of the Matrix to make any goddamn sense.
It just amused me. Going back to Clara then, a couple of things I want to point out about her. It's kind of fitting, isn't it, that this is Jenna Coleman's final appearance as Clara. It sees her delivering what I think is one of her best performances to date.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
She's full of emotion and gravitas.
Ooh, there's one scene I really want to.
Yeah, that scene in the cloister.
That's exactly what I'm going to talk
Bloody
about.
hell!
In a second. Where basically she figures out about the Doctor being stuck in the thing for 4.5 billion years, and like I made a big hash in my write-up of how the Doctor was spurred on to say "fuck you" to whoever imprisoned him by Clara telling him not to give up, not to give in, his mental image of Clara. And then real Clara learns about it, and she's basically like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Basically.
I love that.
I love that too. And her denouncing the Time Lords as monsters and you are hated by everyone, by no more than me.
That's why I'm telling you, the Clara in Heaven Sent is some sort of psychosis of his.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, yeah, that's obviously it's his version of Clara, but he's rattled by grief and anger and whatnot. So it's twisted, a dark reflection, if you will.
Yeah, you're still not going to get me to say it. Just stop.
I just realized I was right with my theory of the hybrid.
Yeah, you were.
I think I said
it was
Clara.
I said they think it was the Doctor, but they find some way to make it so it's not.
It's both the Doctor and not him.
I said that I said the hybrid was Clara. I think so. I was halfway.
I said it could be Clara, it could be the Doctor, it could be someone we don't even know about.
I said it was some sort of bullshit explanation, so I think I'm the most right.
I don't think it's bullshit though. I think this actually is perfect. Again, great writing because it ties up a lot of loose ends.
It's a Moffat finale, Kuchiri. Did you not expect the red herring? Come on.
We finally know why Missy brought Clara and the Doctor together in the first place.
To break the universe because the Doctor cares.
Can I just say I love the moniker, the Lover of Chaos for Missy.
I love it too.
For the Master.
Oh my god. That makes like Darkwater have a whole lot of sense. That's
Yep.
why she wanted him to have the army so he would get used to fighting for this.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Holy shit.
There's so
I never
much
thought
that
of
makes sense now because of this particular finale. Also, why the TARDIS didn't like Clara back in Series 7.
But that was because
That was
she...
the Impossible Girl bullshit.
Yeah, that
It
was
could
because
have
she
been.
splintered. That was all because she splintered, and
Yeah,
there was
I'm with Kuchiri on that. The Impossible Girl stuff is solely Series 7.
Alright.
And then they forgot all about that for Series 8 and Series 9.
Well, that's probably for the best.
I also love the concept of the extraction chamber.
Mm.
I mean, I get what Kuchiri says. Okay, to some people, it lessens the impact of Face the Raven.
I mean,
It makes
I
the
thought-
impact... there's no impact anymore.
But there is.
she is going to go back. It's not a complete...
She
and
will
total
die
fix.
on that street.
When she feels like it. If
Exactly.
she ever feels like it.
Well, that's
it's
good.
less when she feels like it and more like, hey, the universe is kind of being destroyed right now. I think I need to
But
go back.
the universe isn't being destroyed right now.
It's not if. It's she will go back to that trap street. There is a finite end.
Did they say there was a finite amount she could be away from that street?
When she wants to go back, and
There's
presumably
there's a little bit of wiggle room. I don't imagine there's very much.
she's not a Time Lord, so she's going to eventually be driven.
Yeah.
Look at it this way. There's enough wiggle room for her to go around and have adventures for as many ideas as the spin-off people have.
Basically, that's basically all it is. Yeah.
But when we come back to Doctor Who, now, unless I get proven wrong and we have Jenna Coleman back for a crossover, once we get to the next episode, Clara will have gone back and died.
I
all
don't think
all that
they'll.
other shit will just happen off screen in the expanded universe.
I don't think they'll address it. I don't think they'll address that she's gone back and died.
Well, of course they would, because he
I
wouldn't
didn't-
know. The Doctor wouldn't know. And we're
Well,
following
it's
him.
sort of left open to interpretation because he can remember the adventures. And again, this is clever writing on Moffat's part. But so, in the future, if, say, Moffat has stepped away from the show at that point, and we've got a new showrunner, if they
Yeah,
mention
right.
Clara, references to Clara in the past, it still works.
There you go.
Because he can remember that he had adventures with Clara, just not what she looked like.
I saw a post on Something Awful that summed it up best. If he remembered the adventures completely before, after this episode, he remembers the Wikipedia summary of the adventures.
Nice.
This means that Clara can meet one of her own splinters.
Yes.
She
can go,
always could have, though.
she can
Like,
go back and give closure to Rigsy.
She can go back and snob Jane Austen.
Yes. That's our second fan fiction idea of the night.
Oh, come on. That's been mine weeks.
No,
ago.
didn't we already bring that up in fanfiction in the previous episode?
I
I
don't
made
know.
a joke about why they're wearing question mark underwear.
I think someone said ship it,
Oh my god.
but no, we didn't actually specifically mention fan fiction. Anyway,
You don't want to know about the final TARDIS Eruditorium posts and Caitlin Smith's contribution to it then.
no, I don't. I want to get back to talking about Clara, which you keep trying to get me to move away from. The extraction chamber, the fact that her senses are affected, really good writing.
Yep.
I'm saying this a lot. There's really good writing, but really this entire episode, this entire 3-part finale, I think, was written excellently.
And
Just
like,
so many little things to enjoy.
One of it, and one part of it was from a first time Doctor Who writer.
Very true. Who I want to see back next year, but that's another story for another time. And the scenes in the diner are very well done.
I do love that the Doctor is playing Clara's theme music, the actual Clara theme music.
Yeah.
is in this part of the show now. It's,
Do you realise what they've done with that?
but
They've made the soundtrack part of the plot.
oh my lord!
I still want a scene where it starts out with the cold open, and then Capaldi, gets to like a very epic moment, and then starts playing the Doctor Who theme song on his guitar, and like one of the screens will flash his name.
Well, that half happened in what the hell episode was it where he played something
Before the flood.
Oh God! Oh shit!
Well,
But
it
he
was.
didn't play. Did he play his theme music?
Well, he played Beethoven, and then it went into the theme music, and then it was done by electric guitar. So
No, I want him not do the title card, do him playing the guitar around the TARDIS, and one of the random screens will have his name pop up on it.
The problem you've got with that is the guitars are becoming more and more of a used gimmick.
I can make a classic Who joke here that's kind of like this. Terror of the Vervoids, episode 1. To bring this shit up, it ends with Mel screaming, and she screams at exactly the right pitch to lead into the
Oh my god!
Of the ending. It's uncanny.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that look on Clara's, going back to the diner scenes, that's such good writing. I'm sorry to say it again, but it is. Because the way they make you think, oh yeah, it's an echo of her, and then, oh yeah, she's got amnesia, she can't remember the Doctor, and it's actually him.
I thought it was another, mental scene, because I was like, oh, this is the diner where, Rory and,
It's also a valid
Amy was.
And just to praise Jenna Coleman's acting one more time, that look on her face when it becomes apparent what's really going on towards the end, that's heartbreaking.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was heartbreaking. Just a little rueful when he's saying I could remember here, but and you can tell it's breaking her heart to look at him. But she's got to give him closure. She's got to give him a send off. I
mean, they realize that if they keep going, they're going to tear the universe apart. So one of them has to go, and they mutually agree to it.
Yeah, and even then, she's trying to fight it to the end because she's saying we could just fly off somewhere, go for more adventures. Wouldn't that be great? Just before they activate the neuro or the neural blocker. And
I don't think I have anything else to say about Clara unless y'all.
Apart from the fact that we're playing "Don't Stop Me Now" by Foxes in the background when he first enters the diner.
I caught that first watch. It was nice.
Another nice reference. I think that's all we've got to say about Clara. Maybe we could say even more about Clara.
Well, I'll say more about Clara. I'll sum her up in the overall thoughts.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, I love the symbolism at the end of the two TARDISes going their separate ways.
Which, but there's one thing that I want to bring up about the two TARDISes, which is it's a little nitpicky. I can fill the plot hole, but the Doctor's TARDIS was inside the diner TARDIS, technically, right?
Yeah.
No, it was outside.
Yeah, it was outside. That's the plot hole part. I figured, but. It's weird because other if you don't accept that part, then the two TARDISes are inside each other. And the handful of times that two TARDISes have been inside each other in the show, it's been catastrophically bad.
No,
so that was almost the boo-boo.
Well, I think what happened was Ashilders and Clara's TARDIS picked up Capaldi's TARDIS and basically put his TARDIS behind the diner. They were next to each other, not inside each other.
No, they were inside each other because the entire diner disappears.
Well, yeah, and then off to the distance you see the TARDIS.
All I can think of now is somewhere on a planet, a whole fucking building is landing someplace.
Hey. Oh, well, there's one thing. If the diner goes back to the end of everything, it'll be a restaurant at the end of the universe.
Oh my god. You beat me to the bad pun there, because I was about to say TARDIS now stands for time and radically dining in space.
See, that's my question now. Is Clara just going to leave the TARDIS with a shielder?
No, they're going on adventures for the next
When the adventures are over, I suspect
she's ready to go back to Gallifrey and
once she's had her adventures and gone back to Gallifrey to be reinstated into the timeline, yes, I think she'll give it to a shielder.
Probably.
Although I wonder if like the Time Lords would take it back.
I know that Nash on Twitter was kind of complaining that non-Gallifreyans were able to fly a TARDIS, and he was like, "But they can't do that."
She's the Doctor.
Also, they have a manual. You can see it.
She's become the Doctor.
And
Apparently,
she-
she learned how to read Time Lord writing.
No, a Shielder didn't. Clara did. Clara was the one that was reading it.
No, Shielder's reading the
Yeah, she was holding the manual in her hand while trying to figure out the chameleon circuit.
the Doctor dropped his into a black hole, by the way. Just a little bit of knowledge from the past. He dropped his manual into a black hole.
The brakes on.
Although surely the manual being in Gallifreyan, so how the hell is Shielder can read it?
Wait, hang on. I got one thing to say really quick that I can't believe I haven't said until now. I marked the hell out when they got into the new TARDIS, and it was the goddamn classic TARDIS, all shiny new. Holy shit!
What do you think of the interior? Classic.
Oh,
Paraphrasing, but that's what they say.
I would not mind if, just for like some special, they refilm a few like Doctor One episodes with that set.
well, an Adventure in Space and Time kind of did that.
They already did that, yeah. I don't know if you can refilm Doctor One episodes because there aren't that many remaining.
Well, if we're going to get into that talk, really, it's Patrick Troughton who lost the bulk of his. Like,
Okay.
Well,
Troughton.
apparently, his grandson was in Harry Potter, and he looks just like him.
Patrick Troughton's?
Yeah,
His grandson.
it just showed up on my Facebook feed, like the picture of Troughton next to his like a picture of Troughton next to a picture of his son. Like they're both, like, you know.
All right.
They could use him as, you know, Doctor 2.
Well, obviously
They can't use Reece Shearsmith again because he's sand.
True. Dust.
Whatever.
Or Riem, if we're being technical, yeah.
So we've had Game of Thrones. We've had Game of Thrones inserted person into Doctor Who. Now we've got heavy Harry Potter undertones. Are they just going to have these people start writing episodes? Because I want that now.
I mean, we've already had Harry Potter undertones. I mean, David Tennant was Barty Crouch Jr. and Scrooge Carol was Dumbledore.
Yeah, but that was one thing. Now we have frickin' Diagon Alley and his, sonic screwdriver wand.
We get it, Kat. You like Harry Potter. You really like Harry Potter.
She really does like Harry Potter.
Anyway, that's all I think we can talk about.
Dudley Dursley. The guy who played Dudley Dursley is Patrick Troughton's grandson.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
That surprises me. Anyway.
And I just posted the picture in our chat.
Yeah, I see the picture.
We're going to the zoo.
Oh, holy crap, I see it now.
So it is. Anyway, it threw me because the surname was different. I can see the resemblance now.
Neat.
Anyway, obviously this episode was mostly focused on the Doctor and on Clara.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a third character who had quite the role to play towards the final third. And it's a Shielder.
Rassilon.
No. His name was also not John Cena, by the way. No,
No.
Boo.
it was a Shielder. Me.
There's one thing I have to say about a Shielder in this episode, which is great. Is that her talking to the Doctor about Clara and him trying to undo her death is basically what the audience was thinking. or what I was thinking anyway. Like, she's basically saying, Clara's death was tragic, beautiful, sad, but it happened, deal with it, you goddamn baby.
Yeah, basically.
Can I say something?
We all made our peace.
Can't go ahead.
When the knocking came up and he said, it's always 4 knocks, I thought for sure it was going to be Missy.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
Maybe that's what the other chair was for. Missy was supposed to be there, but she wasn't.
No, it was Fenric. That joke went over his head. Chessboards.
Can I say something interesting about Maisie Williams' appearance in this episode?
What's that?
It kind of goes back to the publicity thing. Her appearance in this episode was heavily embargoed. All of the reviewers, the advanced reviews, could not mention that she was there.
Good.
Despite the fact that she's in the next time trailer. It's just the most unnecessary embargo of all time.
Oh, but we can't embargo goddamn Goodbye, Doctor?
Well, that wasn't an embargo. That wasn't the reviews talking about that. They were respectful. It was the damn BBC themselves that leaked that.
It's like the BBC is allergic to making money.
It is a bit like that, isn't it? And even, I can't talk for Moffat, because Moffat was giving away plot details for free in Doctor Who Monthly, of course. But at least
He did.
Cancel my subscription.
It did turn out he did put 5 lines of dialogue from every episode in that massive pre-series whatever.
The clever thing about Moffat spoilers is, yes, they were pretty big and profound, but they still managed to keep the really hidden stuff secret. It kept
like Clara dying.
Not that. Well, actually, yeah, it didn't mention that. It just said there's something huge you do not want spoiled, and that was it. But then mentioned the fact that Clara was back in the episode 2 after that. But it did mention the fact that the Doctor lost his memory and that we basically get Capaldi 2.0, as people have called it now online.
Oh, sorry. I just now realized how big of a spoiler that. So last week I was making fun of how all the synopsis that they did pre-series was how the Doctor and Clara escaped them, this new unseen threat, and I was like, well, Clara's dead, so. Oh, yeah.
We knew she was coming back in some capacity though, because there's that picture of her in the waitress outfit.
Yep.
Well, see, I didn't know about that picture in the waitress outfit. I was like, oh, they must have just said random shit to just fill in this, synopsis, thing for this magazine.
I thought maybe she was just in that waitress outfit for some sort of promotional thing and wasn't actually going to be in the episode. Of course, that's a silly idea, because why would you do that?
I didn't know anything.
Yeah, that's good. Going back to Ashilda then, can I just say I loved her performance here? Yep. Maisie Williams is a hell of an actress.
She is.
She's 18. Oh, yeah. She's 18.
Are you?
Oh, so you say she's legal? Okay.
Kuchiri, no, bad.
I'm out of the call.
I'm gonna spray the water bottle on him now.
Damn boy, damn Rover. No, she's only 18. She can give a performance this profound, of this kind of magnitude, is absolutely insane. She can do amazing facial expressions. And it's just little things where she's saying, why couldn't the hybrid be half Time Lord, half human? And her face just sort of lights up. Jesus. Just brilliant. And also when she's saying, she's just my friend. I know, and you're willing to destroy all time and space just because you miss her.
Oh, man.
Love it.
It makes you think, if the Doctor was more determined, would he crash landed in the 1930s New Jersey?
Quite possible.
Thinking about it, the fact that she has to keep reading her journals every time, not only has she gotten to the point where she's like, fuck it, I don't care anymore, but she's also gotten to the point where she's read all her journals and she's formed this opinion of the Doctor.
Well, you have
it's
to.
So strong that she just starts wailing on him as soon as he emerges from the TARDIS.
You have to remember one very important thing. Ashilda, I'm going to call her Ashilda just so that it's not so confusing. Ashilda is at least 4 billion years old at this point.
No, she's 300 billion. If this is the end of time, if we're going back to Series 3, he jumped 300 billion or 300 trillion?
100 trillion.
100 trillion. So she's over
100 trillion is when Utopia happens. So
yeah.
I think the correct answer is a stupid bunch of time.
Yeah. Okay, so she's been alive an ungodly amount of time. As Moffat himself has stated on Doctor Who Extra, she's more than just the Doctor's equal now. She has surpassed him. Mm-hmm. And she has, and she knows so much about... Sorry, I was distracted by something that Kat just linked there. Yeah, as I was saying...
You should just post the links that we send each other in this, during the video. Let's have it, popped up. Because, we keep on talking about shit that we're saying in our Skype
All
chat.
she's done is just there. She's just linked a picture of Jenna Coleman in school uniform in Waterloo Road. You can Google that.
What? I don't know what that has to do with anything.
She said Clara was in Gryffindor. She wasn't. She's just messing around. Anyway, you completely you derailed my train of thought again. Yeah, she's more than the Doctor's equal now. She's entirely surpassed him, and she has knowledge that no human should have. I mean, she clearly knows about the Time Lords. She clearly knows about Missy. Hell, she's actually on Gallifrey when we see her again in this episode. What remains of the Matrix? What remains of the Cloister? And by the way, it's now officially canon. Ashilda encountered Missy.
Yes.
In my personal headcanon, she had at least one adventure with her, but she definitely encountered Missy at least once.
It would be kind of impossible for her not to.
Yeah. And now we know who told Ashilda about the Doctor. It was Missy.
So now I'm headcanoning the thing where Missy tries to blow up the shielder, but it doesn't work, and she's like, "Oh, well, you're going to be fun."
So we now know that Missy travelled back in time to, well, sometime between Viking and Stuart times. Because that's when I'm going to have to watch The Woman Who Lived again to be absolutely sure, but I think that's when Ashilda gets her information about the Doctor, initially.
Well, then there's other stories. I mean, Doctor saved multiple people, you know.
Yeah. Did you catch the reference to Throny game, by the way?
Summer's something.
Summer can't last forever. Is that basically winter is coming?
I guess.
Or it could be like half of the fucking high school movies, you know, or fucking what was that? Summer's War, the anime. Summer
Wars.
Yeah.
Summer Wars. That's what. You
that was the line Summer Wars. So I mean,
I'm instituting a new rule. You are not allowed to link pictures while we're doing these reviews.
I'm just wondering why the heck Ashilda had a chess set at the end of the world or universe, and who she was playing against.
Herself.
There were 2 chairs.
It's just her. Or
well, and on a space station on the opposite side of the universe, you know.
Or she was hoping to play against the Doctor.
Or she could have been playing with a different Time Lord.
Or Missy, yeah, Missy. I would like to think that Missy somehow escapes the end of time herself as well.
Well, if the Doctor can do it, probably.
It would kind of fit the Master. And, again, obviously the main focus of the ending is Clara, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But much how she gets a fitting ending, I think you can say the same for Ashilda.
I guess.
It takes her 100 trillion years, but she finally gets to travel time and space.
Well, how did she go from Earth to Gallifrey in that 100 trillion years?
Well, obviously somebody takes her.
They invented spaceships by the year 100 trillion, Kuchiri.
Possibly Missy. We don't know.
Well, let's put it this way. She went, as far as we know, linear. Now she gets to go wherever the fuck she wants.
Yeah, but she always wanted to travel time and space. She mentioned it repeatedly in The Woman Who Lived Again. And, as a bonus, she gets to do it with someone who is very much like her in Clara. The newly immortal Clara.
And someone who's willing to, you know, take risks, do what needs to be done.
And her actions in Face the Raven are redeemed. At least partially, anyway. It's very hard to argue that she hasn't earned this. I mean, she's lived billions and billions of years. I think if anyone's earned it, it's her.
I'm surprised she hasn't tried to find a way to, like, kill herself yet.
Because she doesn't want to.
She probably has.
She doesn't want to.
She probably has.
She wants to survive.
Well, I'm saying in the beginning.
Yeah, true.
In the beginning, more than likely, she has tried just about anything she could get her hands on.
I don't think she was ever invulnerable. I think she was just immortal. Because Clara even says in Face the Raven, you vanished off the radar in the 18th century. We thought you'd...
Well, actually, as we've seen, she can have the tattoos on her, so obviously her body can be changed.
Which is obviously completely gone by the next time we see her.
Yeah. But her body can be changed, and she can make contracts and whatnot, but...
I wonder, with her tattoos being gone, if that's because the Raven's also time frozen.
Ooh. Yeah, it could be. Although Clara still has the tattoo on the back of her neck. And it's still at 0.
But the Raven froze right before hitting Clara, though.
Everything froze because for her, she was being extracted from her timeline.
I think in that one point of time, that one fixed moment, everything froze, and there's just this one section of frozen time, like a tiny little sliver there that people can bypass. But
Yeah.
like time goes on after it, time goes on before it, but not during that one single moment.
One more thing the ending does for a shielder, if Maisie Williams ever wants to return to the show, it's very easy to do that.
Yep.
She could be a guest star or a recurring character, regular character. I don't think we'll see her appear in Series 10. Because obviously she'll be back to Throny game. But she could always pop up in the future.
And same could be said for Clara, since they're traveling with each other.
Well, Jenna Coleman has stated she's left the series.
Yeah, I would say
So
definitely
did Karen
Lara's
Gilly.
time is done.
Left it.
Lara's time is done. A shielder has potential to carry on.
Absolutely, but she is basically eternal. She's gone to the end of the universe and now loops back again in the Dino TARDIS.
I would love a scene where like the Doctor shows up someplace, and the Doctor's like, "Huh, some stuff's going on," and he turns around. There's a diner there. Ah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, it could kind of be like the episode The Next Doctor, where that dude's running around thinking he's the Doctor, and instead it's a shielder.
Yeah, and you can easily have a shielder turn up with the Dino TARDIS and not Clara, and just explain it one of two ways. One, a shielder just explains that she's gone to make her peace with Gallifrey, she's gone to face the Raven, or she's still around but she's busy elsewhere. Easiest way of doing it. And
she went back to a previous point, Danny Pink's timeline, in order, to get it on. So fucking Orson Pink can be born.
I think in order to have a baby, you need to have a pulse. Just saying.
I think you're probably right.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, we should probably move on.
Twilight vampires notwithstanding, that is.
One little thing I want to bring out that is not a character, but was a big focus, at least in the trailer and the pre-publicity stuff, was Gallifrey.
Meh.
We kind of got sold a dummy here.
Well, I will say this. The Gallifrey stuff is basically just there to set up getting Clara back. And it is kind of exciting to be back on Gallifrey for the first time after the Time War and Day of the Doctor and all this stuff.
But most of the scenes were repeats. Well, not repeats, but like the same sets were used in Day of the Doctor and
the
Listen,
bar.
and yeah.
Well, that's the
bar
point.
is important to him. It makes sense that after all these, billions of years, he would go back to his home.
The way Day of the Doctor ended, Gallifrey is still like that. Because it's trapped in a pocket universe or a time bubble, whatever you want to call it.
Well, actually, I think they got out of the bubble, but they're
they said
they're at the ass end of the universe, so no Daleks or nothing start another war.
The ass end.
Yeah, no, that's how they explain it. Some point between in the last fucking 4.5 billion years they got out, and
I just feel like the trailers and how Heaven Sent ended, we were all geared up to enjoy the Doctor taking on the Time Lords directly. And we didn't get that.
We do get that.
It's not the main focus of the episode.
I will say this. It's the best Gallifrey story that's aired since 1976. The problem was that every Gallifrey story that aired since 1976 was kind of garbo.
It feels like deliberate misdirection to me, but I can forgive it because what we got instead was just so good.
Oh, well. To me, it's just setup. It's like, it's here. It's there. We get the plot going and stuff.
I can understand that. I will say one thing. I will say one thing. Much like last week, the outside shots of Gallifrey were absolutely stunning.
I liked the cloister.
Yeah, the cloister was good. The stuff that Moffat's added to Gallifrey's lore, I really liked. The bit about the Dalek begging to be exterminated was unsettling in the extreme.
I did like how they did confirm cloister bells means danger.
Yeah. Cloister rates were a good concept too.
Yeah, with that we've always speculated that does a cloister bells mean danger? Like we've been talking about this for the last 3 years, and now
they absolutely do.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do. Yeah, and our old friend Jamie Reed Quarrell getting credited for a 4th time this series.
I caught that. Yeah.
He was one of the race.
The Wraiths are a pretty good design. They don't do much. They don't kill anybody, but they're there.
I will say one thing. They got the absolute maximum use out of that Segway, didn't they?
Segu.
They got the absolute maximum use out of that goddamn Segway. It's
Well, it looked like they were riding on Segway.
It's like they came up with Colony Surf, and it's like, oh right, how do we have him glide by sticking the actor on a Segway, and then and then they think we'll save some budget and we'll have other people do that as well.
Oh my god.
I have to wonder why the heck they put the silly hats on the race.
Because they were Time Lords.
Time Lords wear silly hats.
The Doctor even says that.
I'm just wondering what the heck purpose it would serve.
But
so who are the Time Lords who wear the silly hats?
The High Council.
They're like popes.
That was me trying to Segu
I understand. Segu?
on my Segway.
Segway. Anyway, there's too many supporting characters to mention them all because we just simply haven't got the time. But there are three I want to focus on a little bit.
Okay.
And they are the General, the President / Rassilon, and not a Time Lord, but Ohyla. Let's start with Ohyla.
Why was she here again?
Yeah, she seems entirely unnecessary to me in this.
I mean, I think Karn is close to Gallifrey, but
I mean, Claire Higgins is a good actress, but she's there, if anything, to provide a familiar face for the Doctor to listen to, or to fail to listen to.
Yeah.
You could have basically replaced her with just about anyone who had a tenuous link with the Doctor, and that's not a good sign. That
Does
to me,
the Sisterhood deal with prophecies too?
Yes.
I think
Maybe
they possibly
had
do.
one. Maybe they had one about the hybrid, and she wanted to come and
But
see.
the justification for her being there is one so loves fireworks. That's flimsy.
Well, they're a secretive bunch, aren't they?
You could argue. I mean, you could argue she's there to provide moral support for the Doctor, but
Look,
Hey,
I saw
Kat?
one episode with them when they were trying to burn the Doctor at the Doctor.
Yeah,
at
that
the
I was
stake.
about to say. Hey, Kat, I think I know why BBC America showed the brain of Morbius now.
That's like the only episode I saw with them. So
That's the only
where it's
episode
like,
with them until like this series,
yeah.
and Night of the Doctor.
They
But-
worship fire. They burn people at the stake, and they like dancing around for some reason.
This is a classic case, I think, of a character not being used effectively. Because, as I say, you could just put anybody else in there, and it would have worked just as well. That's not a good sign.
She's a good actress, but the character, nah.
Ohyla works best as a minor character, not a supporting one. She worked fine in The Bishop's Apprentice.
She worked great in Night of the Doctor.
She worked very good in Night of the Doctor, but not here. And that's nothing to do with her performance. That performance was fine. It just didn't work for me that it was her of all people, because she's not a Time Lord. Even the President says you have no business on this planet. But she makes it her business for whatever reason. I suppose it's to have that conversation where it says you've broken every code you've ever lived by.
I get that.
I did like the comparison.
I seriously think, just guessing, they had some sort of prophecy, and she came to see if it was going to come true or not. That's just me trying to fill in that.
It just smacks of Moffat trying to crowbar a returning guest star in there.
And no, the another thing, she was basically used to say that one immortal line that the Doctor ended up saying to Lady Me.
Yeah, respect the company of immortals. But again, couldn't anybody else have delivered that line?
She was under contract, and they had to put her in one more episode.
Well, she is immortal, though. Clearly, she is immortal if she is not a Time Lord, and she's been. Well, technically, that would mean she's been alive for almost 5 billion years.
Well, the
now.
Sisterhood of the Keepers, the Eternal Flame, so they can probably keep themselves well looked after. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, that's pretty much what the Eternal Flame does. Is it?
Yes.
Stay
So
alive.
I didn't really care much for Ohyla in this episode. Someone that came across a bit better, although it took me a second watch to realise just why, is the President, played by Donald Sumter.
Why wasn't he freaking Dalton?
Why wasn't it Timothy Dalton? Funny you mention that.
Because they couldn't get Timothy Dalton back.
Funny you mention that. The concept art for Rassilon shows him to be an older man with short brown hair. So I do think that maybe they originally intended for Dalton to reprise his role. And I can't help but imagining in my own head how cool that would have been, by the way. I mean,
Like
again,
the Doctor telling James Bond to get off his planet.
don't don't take this away from Donald Sumter's performance as an actor. It was perfectly good, but you imagine Timothy Dalton in that role, and I'm sorry, it's better.
Well, at the end of that episode, which had the Master turning into a glowing skeleton, didn't he rush at Rassilon and they, blew up or something
Oh,
like
he
that?
zapped him.
Well, there we go. Something happened there.
Yeah, it's officially
And that
canon
made him
now.
regenerate.
It's officially canon now. The Master killed Rassilon at the end of time. At the end of time part 2, and forces regeneration into what we see in this one, which is Donald Sumter.
The old man who looks like he really doesn't fit his hat.
That's kind of the point of Rassilon here, though. The whole idea. I mean, if I have one criticism of the performance, Sumter is chewing the scenery a little bit too much. He's hamming it up big time.
I'm surprised he can reach. He's really dwarfed in that hat. Seriously.
Yeah. But what is Rassilon at this point? He is basically a shell of a man who is desperately holding on to what little power he has left.
He's been now bested by the Doctor how many times now?
Quite a few.
He's the grumpy old man at the end of the lane yelling, "Get off my lawn!"
I did love the scene with the firing squad. I thought that was one of the best scenes of the entire episode, actually.
I still say the spoon part was the best part.
How many regenerations did we give you? I've got all night.
I love how it looks like he's about ready to charge up a lightning blast, and he stops.
He stops because the reinforcements turn up and distract him.
Are you saying Rassilon is now the Emperor?
Oh, Jesus.
No, yeah! Unlimited regenerations!
The Master already beat him to the Force Lightning by about 5 years. That gauntlet that Rassilon had, he had in the End of Time as well. He needs it to disintegrate a random High Council member that disagrees with him. He doesn't do that here, though. He does start doing the glowy hand thing with the Doctor, actually, in the End of Time Part 2, but then the Master zaps him.
So that's twice now that if Rassilon was not monologuing, he could have killed the Doctor.
But he is the shell of a man. He's pathetic, basically, at this point. The army deserts on him, despite the fact he gives them a direct order.
Well,
Everybody hates him because, as Ahyla says, the Doctor does not blame Gallifrey for the horrors of the Time War. He just blames you. So it's personal. Rassilon going down is personal. And do we think that him going off Gallifrey might lead to anything in the future?
yes.
Oh, someone will pick up on that, no doubt.
I don't know if it'll be played by Donald Sumter. Maybe he'll regenerate again. But I'll be honest.
Oh god, they do another Saxton.
It wouldn't work with Rassilon.
No.
The Master is a calculating, insane villain. Rassilon is a buffoon. A pompous, proud buffoon.
Rassilon tries to do the same thing, but he decides to call himself Saxton again. Like, where have I heard that name before? That sounds cool. And the Doctor's like, are you serious?
I'll be honest, on the list of Time Lords I want to see return to the series at a later date, he's kind of down the bottom for me.
Oh, for God's sake. If you're going to bring back a Time Lord, bring back Omega for fuck's sake.
Romana.
He is coming back! He is coming back!
Romana, Omega.
Ronnie.
Romana or Omega would work.
I mean, even Ronnie would have more impact than Rassilon.
You know Omega is coming back, right?
Even the Ronnie would have more impact than Rassilon at this point.
Oh, Jesus, you went there.
No, Cat went there.
I'm being ignored because they didn't want to bring up the fact that Omega is coming back.
I would love to see Omega.
The K9 animated feature is going to have K9 versus Omega.
Oh, Timequake. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Denial, the first stage of grief. Actually, it's not the first stage of grief. It's one of the stages of grief. Anyway, yeah, I would love to see Omega back. But one character that did come back, and I kind of liked, actually, was the General. I like the General. He seemed like an honourable man. I enjoyed Ken Bones portraying him. So it's a shame that when the time came for the Doctor to shoot somebody, it was him.
Regeneration?
10th. Good luck. Bang.
Holy shit.
Well, as I said to you, there was a perfectly logical reason why he would shoot the General of all people.
Yeah. I mean, it shows how far he's going to go because he shoots dead an unarmed man who was acting as his ally. But I just like Ken Bone's performance, and this is not a slight on the lady that portrayed the general after the regeneration.
You just wish that he shot one of the other random mooks.
Do it to Wrestlon, who he didn't like.
Well, either way, what we now have is an on-screen canon regeneration from an old white guy to a black lady.
Half the internet is currently screaming at you.
A really gorgeous black lady at that.
The other...
So you like them bald, huh?
Kuchiri, down.
I'm getting the water bottle again.
Her head is shaved. She looks good in it. What? Who cares?
She looked good. She looked good, and her performance perfectly all right. It's not... I didn't like the regeneration, not because it shows that the titles are entirely gender and race fluid now. I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly progressive in that regard.
You just wish Ken Bone didn't get shot.
I just wish Ken Bones didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Not really.
No.
I liked his performance. I wasn't quite ready to part with that performance, but they did it for me anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
But those are all the characters I think we can talk about. So let's get to the overall thoughts.
Fantastic.
I cried at the ending.
I'm the biggest Clara booster here, and even I didn't cry at the ending. I was grinning like an idiot. Cat. Wow, you two are really mirroring each other there, huh?
I can't hear anything anymore. I'm sorry, I can't hear anything anymore.
No, from when it was revealed that the doctor was hit with the fucking mind wipe, I don't know why I just started tearing up, and I couldn't cry for
because it was emotional.
Well,
I wish the dog had started barking after I started doing that. That was hilarious.
I'm not surprised. His final speech to Clara was very emotional. Run like hell, laugh at everything, because it's always funny. And the thing about pears. They actually brought that back from the 10th Doctor.
No, but this was a good ending for Clara Oswald. I would have accepted Face the Raven, but at this time I don't think it's been invalidated. I think it's a still fine dramatic moment. But this is better. I like this.
I think
and I'm gonna miss Clara.
Sorry.
No,
Okay.
Kat, go on.
I think in a sense, even with, Rose and Donna and Amy and Rory, Clara is probably the person who has been the closest to the Doctor of all of them. Just because she can almost accurately predict everything he's going to do, what he's going to say. She can tell when he's lying and when he's being truthful. I think that, in a way, this series not only went a really interesting direction with Clara, but the way they ended it was perfect for her as a character. Simply because she's not just the Doctor's mirror. She's just she's like his other half, his soulmate, in a way, now.
No. We'll see his soulmate in the next episode.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
I mean, soulmate doesn't have to, necessarily be someone who is in love with the other person. A brother and sister can be soulmates.
I know what you mean, and I agree with you. For what it's worth.
Oh.
Down, boy! Down!
Alright, you can go and take your horrible, horrible self out of here. I wish I could hang up on you, but I can't. Rainiac, please!
we gotta let him talk about his overall thoughts about the episode. I'm sorry. Democracy.
It was a good episode. It's probably the best of the series. It's probably the best episode since Series 5.
Oh, you already did?
Yeah.
Okay, bye then. No.
Do you mean the best episode or the best finale?
The best episode.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I feel that much yet, but this is definitely... Yeah, it's weird, because Series 9 didn't really work for me until the end, because all of it was really heavy Clara stuff.
It's funny, because I feel the exact opposite, but I think, if I can just mention my thoughts on Hellbent for a moment, I thought that it was a very satisfying finale for what has been overall a very satisfying series. It ties up just about all the loose ends, and it allows the slate to be wiped completely clean in a way that doesn't feel very entirely arbitrary, and because the main actress has chosen to leave the show in order to further her acting career. And the way that they've done the memory wipe and Capaldi 2.0, it benefits the audience because we don't have to get this period of companion grieving that we used to get, where we get references thrown into the previous companion, like her name was Rose.
And while you're on that, the symbolism of Riggsy's painting dissolving away.
Oh god, that was the feels. Right in the feels.
No, we called it though. We did call that one.
You did call that one, I have to say. Yeah.
I think it was Rainier.
It was Kuchiri.
Oh, okay, whatever.
He said the painting will dissolve the next time it travels in time, and it did.
But one thing is, like, the Doctor hasn't really been acting like what the Doctor should be acting like in this whole series, and now he has a refreshed, I guess what you would say.
Yeah, they wiped the slate clean.
Yeah, which is why, her last words, "Run, you clever boy," which I'm happy they brought that back.
And be a doctor.
As I watched it, I pretty much thought to myself, "Oh well, Kuchiri will be happy now."
Oh, then the screwdriver showed up, and I screamed, and
oh my god, that entire ending was. Kat was talking about how Moffat was reading our things. He's been pandering to you.
He's been pandering to all of us, I think. But yeah,
you all bought it. You all bought it.
This scene, though, is almost exactly like the scene from Series 5 where the Doctor finally picked his outfit. So now we're going to get the velvety jacket Doctor for now on, I think.
Yeah. Just to conclude my overall thoughts then, I don't know yet if it's the best finale episode in the modern day ever. It certainly comes close, I think.
It is going to be in my top 3 when we do our rankings.
If we count the finale as the final episode before the series ends, it obviously beats the hell out of the Wedding of River song. It beats Name of the Doctor. It will just go for Moffat's era because otherwise this will take too long. It beats the Wedding of River song and Name of the Doctor easily. I think it beats Death in Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Although that was very good and got better the more I watched it. Yeah. And I think it may even beat The Big Bang.
No, it does not beat The Big Bang.
I'm not so sure.
No, it definitely does.
I don't know if I'd go that far. As much as I love Clara, I don't know if
I think I need to see the entire series again to make a true judgment.
I still don't know why the fuck the TARDIS even exploded in that episode.
Oh, that was because of fucking Madam...
a one sentence explanation, which we just... Oh, that made me so mad back then, but that's the past.
I still don't know.
That's
you
the
know
past.
what? I'm going to headcanon it now. It's the first signs of Clara staying too long in this timeline. She has to go back.
Holy shit. Okay.
I would love that, but no, I don't think
No. Would that mean that we now need a Big Bang 3?
That is now my headcanon, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
They can't take that away from you. I thought that it was the maybe not perfect. It was a very, very fitting finale for both Jenna Coleman and for Clara Oswald. I think they did the character absolute justice. I'm going to miss her too, but at least this way she goes out on a triumphant high. And she gets to travel the universe and have her own adventures. And if they ever want to bring her back for an anniversary or whatever the hell, they can do. Very easy to do that. It all depends on whether the actress is willing to do it or not. And who knows, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, whatever, she might well. It's entirely up to her.
And they can't go too far out of the way because she can't age.
There's such a thing as makeup. And special effects. It really isn't that hard. Anyway, yeah, I loved it, people. I absolutely loved it. I can't say it enough. I just loved it. So yeah, that was.
Can I close with the line I closed?
I was going to throw it over to you.
Let's see. What did I say again? I just got to make sure.
Before you get into it, I have to say, your words on the Doctor and Clara were really beautiful.
Oh my God!
And people should definitely go and read them.
Yeah, you should read them. I'm gonna say the last words that I wrote here because I like them. To Clara Oswald, I say this: Run, you clever girl. I'll always remember you.
Couldn't have said it better.
I might start crying.
Oh my god.
Cat, hold yourself together. We're not done.
Okay.
Just like that. And on the subject of applaud, I'd just like to applaud Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman and Stephen Moffat and Rachel Talalay and everybody who was involved in both that episode and the 3-part finale in
I'd
general.
like to applaud the caterer.
Yes, props to the caterer. So,
I'd
yeah.
like to. He brought coffee that one time. But never again.
Props to the guy who said "fuck you" as I actually bumped into him. Oh man, totally made my day better.
Anyway, that is the end of
Props to that
Clara's.
little bit of shrimp toast that fell on the floor during one of the catering sessions.
That is the end of Clara's story arc. And next time, in 3 weeks' time, in fact, we've got the Christmas special, The Husbands of River Song. This looks dumb as all hell.
I don't think it looks dumb. I think it's going to be fucking hilarious.
No, you misunderstand me. Yeah. This looks dumb as all hell, and I love the fact that it does.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stupid, goofy, fun time.
It would be nice to get away from all the drama.
Yeah, we need a break following the emotional punch of Hellbent and its climax.
Yeah.
And this will provide it for us, I hope, anyway. I'm getting Dinosaurs on a Spaceship vibes from what I hope it will feel like. The guy playing the robot already makes me laugh.
I don't think he's a robot. I think it's...
So, what are our theories on when this takes place in the River Song timeline?
I think this is going to be the last time he sees her.
No.
I think who gives a fuck? She has an enormous timeline. Who cares?
Well, I'm just kind of curious. I don't really care. It's just like, it's curious.
I do like their chemistry together, though, already.
More than likely, it will never be explained.
From what little I've seen, Peter Capaldi and Alex Kingston already have good chemistry together. Stop holding my hand. People don't do that.
Isn't River technically a hybrid?
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Well,
I am so glad she was not in this series.
Well,
yes.
Okay. Hang on. There is a reason why I'm asking when does the river thing take place? Does it take place at the beginning of her timeline or at the end? Because is he going to be able to lord spoilers over her or what?
No, there has to be a time where he whispers spoilers at least once.
I think it's going to be towards the end of her timeline.
That's the one thing.
But the problem is Brainiac. They did reveal that was Smith who gave her his.
It was one of the mini episodes.
Yeah. I also suspect there'll be one time where River will look at him and said, "You got so old."
Well, here's the thing. Over the Matt Smith River Song arc, River was always so smug, I know more than you, and there never was a reversal of that. There never was a time when Matt Smith got to know more than her, except except Let's Kill Hitler. But
not Let's Kill Hitler. Also, the first Angel episode in Series 5, he lets it slip that the Pandorica is going on, and she's like, "Oh, that hasn't happened yet. Spoilers."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Do you remember my favourite line from the trailer? By the way, just the next time trailer going off because. Again, there was a TV one, but you may not have all seen it.
I'm not going to watch
it. It was River saying to the Doctor, "This is a serious mission. There's absolutely nothing to laugh about." And the Doctor just goes, "We're being threatened by a bag." I love that.
They throw the head into the bag.
Yeah, Greg Davies, the very tall English comedian and actor, is playing the cyborg guy, who is mostly just a head. It looks like.
Looks like a Space Marine.
Yeah, his body looks like comes from Space Marine, Space Hammer for what
Warhammer 4000.
Warhammer 40,000.
Yes, Warhammer 40,000. Yeah.
40,000. 40K.
I don't think he's going to have a particularly long time on the show. I think he's just going to be a one-time villain, but I'm hoping he'll do his part. I think it's just going to be a big, dumb, ridiculous Christmas adventure, and it's exactly what we need, as I say.
He's the guy who's there to go, "Mwahaha, I hate Santa, mwahaha."
Wait, Cat, you said it wrong. I hate...
Motherfucking Santa!
There we go! Gotta keep the old memes alive. It was a little weird that we were all getting publicity for this Christmas special just as episode 12...
Wait, Brainiac, why do we have to keep the old memes alive?
You've completely changed your tune, because you were the one that was shouting, keeping the... Oh, I see what you're doing. Keeping the trope alive! And now I'm hearing you. Fuck!
Yes!
I did it!
damn it!
I told you guys, we have to wait until he doesn't expect it. Kudos.
I resisted for so long.
Oh.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And on that note, folks, with all of us unable to speak properly because we're all laughing too hard, thank you so much.
I'm coughing like a madman.
Thank you so much to my 3 guests for joining me to talk about Hellbent.
Oh, yay.
And we will see you sometime after Christmas to review the God damn it, I left the bleep machine on again. The Hounds of River Song.
God, this is just a comedy errors right here.
This is just a train wreck.
Uh.
So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the show. I know I did, apart from that one bit. And we'll see you then. Until then, bye for now.
David Cameron, fuck the pig.